Have you ever looked up to heaven with tears in your eyes and asked, God, why am I going through this? Maybe your heart has been shattered. Maybe life feels like one battle after another. And in the middle of all that pain, it's easy to believe that it's meaningless. That your suffering is random, unfair, or even cruel. But let me remind you of a truth that could change everything. Your pain is not wasted. Not a single tear you've cried, not a single moment you've suffered, not a single silent prayer you whispered in the dark was unseen by God. Your pain has a divine purpose. God never allows pain in your life without a reason. He doesn't waste anything, not even your lowest moments. In fact, those very moments, the times you wanted to give up, the seasons where you felt completely alone, are the times God is working behind the scenes the most. When you feel broken, God is rebuilding you. When you feel lost, God is leading you. And when you feel like the pain will never end, God is writing a story through it that will glorify His name and strengthen your soul. Let's go back to the cross for a moment. Jesus, the Son of God, endured unimaginable pain. Not just physical, but emotional and spiritual. He was betrayed by someone He loved. He was rejected by the crowds who once followed Him. He was mocked, beaten, and hung on a cross to die. If there was ever a moment that looked hopeless, that looked wasted, it was the cross. But we know now that the cross was the greatest demonstration of love and purpose the world has ever known. It was through that pain, through that suffering, that salvation came to all of us. So if God could bring eternal hope out of the pain of the cross, can't He also bring purpose out of your pain? You see, your suffering isn't a sign that God has left you. It's often a sign that He's about to do something deep inside of you. The Bible says in Romans 8 verse 28 that, in all things God works for the good of those who love Him. Not just in the good times. Not just when life makes sense. But in all things. That includes the heartbreak. That includes the loss. That includes the struggle. God is weaving all of it into something that will ultimately bless you and glorify Him. Sometimes we pray for strength, and God allows pain because that's how strength is built. Sometimes we ask for faith, and He allows us to walk through uncertainty so that our trust in Him becomes unshakable. Sometimes we ask for purpose, and He lets us go through storms that refine our character and reveal what we're really made of. The process is painful, but the result is priceless. Think about Joseph. He was betrayed by his own brothers, thrown into a pit, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and thrown into prison. If anyone had a reason to feel like life was unfair, like his pain had no meaning, it was Joseph. But all along, God was preparing him. All the pain led to a purpose. Joseph would become second in command in Egypt and save nations from famine. What if Joseph had given up in the prison? What if he had stopped trusting God in the pit? He would have missed the purpose God had for him. So don't give up in your prison. Don't lose heart in your pit. God is working even now. The enemy wants you to believe that your pain disqualifies you. That because you're broken, God can't use you. That's a lie. The truth is, your pain doesn't disqualify you. It qualifies you. It's through your pain that you develop compassion for others. It's through your struggles that you learn to depend on God. And it's through your story that others will find healing. Sometimes the very thing you thought would break you ends up becoming the platform God uses to reach others through you. People don't connect to your perfection, they connect to your pain. They're not inspired by how flawless you are, they're inspired by how faithful you remain in the midst of the fire. So don't hide your scars. Your scars are evidence that God brought you through. Your scars tell a story of survival. And someone else needs to hear it. God never promised a life without pain. In fact, Jesus said, "In this world you will have trouble." But He didn't stop there. He said, "Take heart, for I have overcome the world." That means no matter what you go through, you're not going through it alone. Jesus is with you in the fire. He's walking beside you in the storm. He catches every tear. He hears every cry. And He will never waste your pain. Maybe you've lost someone you loved. Maybe you've been through a divorce or a betrayal that shattered your heart. Maybe you've prayed and fasted for healing or breakthrough and it hasn't come yet. Let me remind you today, God sees you. He knows exactly where you are. He's not punishing you. He's positioning you. And there will be a day when the purpose behind the pain is revealed. One day you'll look back and say, "Now I understand why I had to go through that. It prepared me. It changed me. It brought me closer to God." Some of the most powerful people in the Bible went through incredible pain. David was hunted by Saul. Elijah faced deep depression. Job lost everything. Paul was beaten, imprisoned, and shipwrecked. And yet, through it all, they didn't quit. They cried. They questioned. But they didn't give up on God. And neither should you. Your pain may not make sense right now. But you're not alone. Every time you get on your knees and pray with a broken heart, heaven leans in. Every time you worship through tears, God moves closer. Every time you choose faith over fear, trust over doubt, and praise over despair, you're winning a battle that the enemy hoped would destroy you. And sometimes, the purpose of your pain is not just for you. Sometimes, God is preparing you to comfort someone else. 2 Corinthians 1 verse 4 says, "He comforts us in all our troubles so that we can comfort others." What you're going through today may be the very thing that helps someone else tomorrow. Don't underestimate how God can use your story. You may feel forgotten. But God hasn't forgotten you. He is a redeemer. And He specializes in taking broken pieces and making something beautiful. He's the potter, and you are the clay. Yes, the molding process hurts. Yes, the fire is intense. But the outcome is a vessel that can carry His glory. Let this pain draw you closer to God. Let it deepen your prayer life. Let it refine your character. Let it increase your hunger for His presence. Sometimes, pain is the only thing that gets our attention. Sometimes, it's what brings us to our knees and reminds us of our dependence on God. And that is not a bad thing. That's a holy thing. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. You are not being destroyed. You are being developed. The valley is temporary, but the lessons you learn in the valley will last forever. One day, your testimony will be someone else's survival guide. So don't rush the process. Don't despise the pain. God is using it. He is working through it. And He's not finished with you yet. You're not alone. You're not abandoned. You're not overlooked. God is right there with you, even if you can't feel Him. And when the time is right, He will lift you up. He will restore what was lost. He will redeem what was broken. And He will make all things beautiful in His time. Right now, you might not understand the why. But there will come a day when you do. Until then, hold on. Keep praying. Keep worshiping. Keep trusting. Because your pain is not wasted. It is being used by God in ways you can't even imagine. Even when the healing doesn't come right away, even when the answer is delayed, even when the pain lingers longer than you wanted, keep the faith. Because God is closer than you think. He hasn't stopped working. He hasn't changed His mind about you. And He hasn't forgotten His promises. The enemy trembles when you praise through pain. He panics when you refuse to quit. And he flees when you declare, "God is still good, even now." Your pain may be great, but your God is greater. Your wounds may be deep, but His love is deeper. And His purpose will prevail. So don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't believe the lie that this is the end. It's not over. It's just the middle of the story. And with God, the best is always yet to come. Let your pain push you into the presence of God. Let it teach you to depend on Him more. Let it draw out a faith that is unshakable. Because when this season ends, and it will end, you'll look back and realize that it wasn't wasted. None of it was wasted. Every tear watered the seeds of something greater. Every trial shaped your character. Every scar became a testimony. And every moment of pain had a purpose. You are not forgotten. You are not forsaken. You are deeply loved. And your story is not over. God is still writing it, and He's not done with you yet. Your pain is part of a bigger plan. So trust Him. Lean on Him. Cry out to Him. Because He is faithful. and He is turning your pain into purpose. So even when life doesn't look like the promise, even when everything seems to be falling apart, remember this: God sees what you can't. He knows what's ahead. You see brokenness, He sees restoration. You see delay, He sees perfect timing. You see the mess, He sees the miracle He's crafting out of it. You might feel like your story is done, but God is holding the pen, and His handwriting is not finished. Sometimes, the greatest chapters come after the worst storms. Some of the most beautiful testimonies rise from ashes. The pain you feel right now may be preparing you for a joy so overwhelming, you'll forget how dark the night once was. Don't stop here. Don't walk away from your faith just because you don't see the full picture yet. God is not finished. Not with your life. Not with your purpose. Not with the healing. Not with the miracle. When you feel tired, rest in His arms. When you feel empty, let His word fill you. When you feel like you failed too much, remind yourself that God's love is not based on your performance, but on His promise. He is still the God who uses the weak to shame the strong, the broken to show His power, the forgotten to reveal His glory. You are not disqualified. You are not too far gone. Your mistakes do not cancel your calling. Your tears are not a sign of defeat. They are sacred prayers God bottles up. Psalm 56 verse 8 says, "You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. You have recorded each one in your book." That means not one moment of pain has escaped His notice. You may feel like your heart is shattered, but even the broken pieces are in God's hands. And He knows how to rebuild better than before. He doesn't just repair, He renews. He doesn't just restore, He resurrects. He brings dead dreams back to life. He speaks to dry bones and they stand again. He turns graves into gardens. And He is doing that in your story too. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it's hard. But God is close to the brokenhearted. He rescues those whose spirits are crushed. And if you're still breathing, that means He's still moving. The chapter you're in right now may be filled with sorrow, but the next one could be filled with joy. Don't close the book before the redemption part comes. Don't give up when resurrection is just around the corner. He's not late. He's not confused. He's not distant. He's intentional. Every delay has a reason. Every hardship has a lesson. Every wilderness has an exit. And every pain has a purpose. His plan may not be what you expected, but it will be more beautiful than you imagined. Because His ways are higher than ours. And His thoughts are beyond what we can comprehend. So hold on. Not just to your strength, but to His grace. Not just to your plan, but to His promise. He is the author and the finisher. If it's not good yet, it's not finished yet. Let your faith rise again. Let your hope anchor your soul. Let your heart be steady in the hands of the one who holds time, eternity, and every detail of your life. You may be in the valley, but God is walking beside you. You may be in the fire, but not alone. You may be in the waiting, but never forgotten. You may be in tears, but joy is coming in the morning. He sees you. He hears you. He loves you. And He will never leave you. So today, lift your head. Wipe your tears. Breathe again. Stand in the truth that you are chosen, called, and covered. No matter what you've been through, you are still a child of God. And He is turning your pain into purpose.